What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Church of Disgust, entitled Veneration of Filth. This is released on Memento Mori Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of San Marcos, Texas, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, putrid, morbid style of death metal. Yeah. This band has been so very consistent from the very get-go. From the first few demos this band put out, to their debut full-length, to their EP that followed that, to what we're going to be talking about here. This band has been so reliable and consistent. Great lyrics, great vocals, incredible music, very all-natural sort of approach going for it. This is a band that really puts the death in death metal, and for lack of a better term, it is a disgusting sounding kind of death metal band, and that's what I enjoy so much about Church of Disgust. I mean, from one of their 2012 demos, Invocation of Putrid Worship, to their debut full-length from 2014, Unworldly Summoning, that was something very special. Really true to the heart death metal. That's what I appreciated so much about that record. Even the EP they put out last year with Dread Ritual, that was something awesome. And it gave me hope as to what the future was going to be for this band. And the future is here in the form of this second full-length album entitled Veneration of Filth. It's 10 tracks, and it clocks in at around 41 minutes in length. And pretty much I would say this picks up right where Unworldly Summoning left off. But I think they really took the time and effort to improve what they did on the first album to make things sound that much better and that much more concise. I really enjoy what this band brings to the table with Veneration of Filth, and they really do deserve to have a place in not only in the Texas metal elite, but within the death metal world in general. This is just some incredible stuff. I mean, when it comes to the guitar playing, this is as top-notch as it's ever going to sound. I really love the way the guitars are being played and handled on here. Really woozy-sounding riffs going on here. The wooziness, the franticness, the evilness that comes from the guitar work that's done on here is just incredible. I mean, when you hear it on the opening track, Wrath of the 13, to songs like Corpses of Dead Worlds, and even later tracks like Supine in the Face of Total Death. I mean, just some incredible guitar playing being done here throughout the majority of this record. Like I said, it has that almost urgent, frantic sort of quality going for it. That's what really gives it that unique death metal sort of vibe going for it. The bass work on here is very crude sounding, very audible, definitely a wondrous match for some of the heavy riffs that are being done on here. I really like the undertone of everything. I think it just plays out very well here. And I almost sense a bit of a doomy vibe in some instances. Like on the last track of this record, Sunken Altar of Dagon, that's where I feel this band is slowly teetering into more death doomish sort of territories, and I really like when they decide to get slower as opposed to getting more on the more mid-pace to quicker sort of speeds on this record. I like the pace of this record. I like the fact that this is a band that takes their time with how they deliver the songwriting and how things get delivered and sound great. Drum work on here is very awesome. I love the drum rolls and blast beats that are being done on here. Once again, this isn't one of those drum performances that's meant to be clean or flashy. This is just down and dirty death metal drumming being played here, and you're going to get all of that in its purest primal form here throughout this record. Like I said, I love when this album slows itself down as opposed to it going faster. But when there are faster moments, I really think it does sound great. The drumming is really awesome. I love the way the natural feelings going for it. It just sounds great. And when it comes to the vocals, I really like this vocalist style. Very guttural, very well worded and understandable. And of course, being that this is a band that really, like I said earlier, puts the death in death metal, you can really get that sort of vibe and feeling when you hear this guy talk, weaving the stories that he does and just being straight up getting into more ugly, mythical, death-like sort of territories with some of these songs. I mean, I think it's really, really awesome. And there's even some vocal guest work being done on this record. I believe the singer from Sewerside is on the track Ripping Decay. Really awesome track there. Jamie from The Absence is on the track Plague of Punishment. And I want to say, going back to the last track on here, Sunken Altar of Dagon, you have the legendary Mike Browning, whom you of course know best from his early time with Morbid Angel to his most notable works with Nocturnus. His vocal presence is felt on that song, and it really does sound great. But as far as the actual vocals for Church of Disgust goes, fantastic. Fantastic vocal performance all the way throughout. So overall, Church of Disgust are one of the best true to blue death metal bands to come out of Texas. If you are a fan of their first record, Unworldly Summoning, I think you're going to enjoy Veneration of Filth a lot more. More death, the better. So if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Wrath of the 13, Corpses of Dead Worlds, Supine in the Face of Total Death, To Seek Congress with the Realms Beyond. This is just some really awesome tracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Church of Disgust Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it, buy it digitally, and I will also leave you a link to this band's personal web store where you can purchase CD and cassette tape copies. I believe Head Split Records put out the cassette version. There will be a vinyl version in the works. And yeah, definitely keep an eye out for when this band plays live or puts out music. It's always going to be something we're paying attention to. So, again, the album is Veneration of Filth by Church of Disgust. This is released on Memento Mori Records. Go support this. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. Very awesome Texas death metal, true to blue, total death. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it and how you think it compares to previous Church of Disgust releases, or any of you guys into Church of Disgust. Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until next time, Army Ho out.